Hello, welcome to Everything Fighting. My name is Anthony and these are the top 5 best Nate Diaz fights. Number 5, Nate Diaz vs Kurt Pellegrino. Nate's fight with Kurt Pellegrino wasn't a bar burner. Roughly 3 minutes in the second round, Pellegrino lifted Diaz, executing a slam that could have been visually pleasing and effective, had Nate not wrapped his limbs around the upper region of Pellegrino's body, securing one arm at his neck and locking it in a tight triangle choke as the two met the mat. The double middle finger went up, and so did a massive boost in Nate's confidence. Number 4, Nate Diaz vs Marcus Davis. Nate's bout with Gallard proved that he could take a shot from one of the heaviest, if not the heaviest punchers in the division, recover, and keep mentioning his ways about him until he finishes off his foe in an impressive fashion. The ability to overcome adversity isn't something we typically doubt of the Diaz brothers, but it's surely gratifying to see each man leap hurdles all the same. It also proved that even though he's a tad slender for a legit 170-pound competitor, Nate's frame was still manly enough to overcome the solid welterweight competition. Number 3, Nate Diaz vs Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor vowed to get revenge on Nate Diaz. Saturday night in Las Vegas, he made good on that promise. McGregor defeated Diaz by a majority decision at UFC 202 in a dramatic welterweight fight, 5 months after losing to him in UFC 196. The judges scored the 5-round fight 48-47, 48-47, 47-47 in favor of McGregor. McGregor, who was 20-3, got off to a fast start, knocking down Diaz, who was 19-11. He was knocked down 3 times in the first 2 rounds at the T-Mobile Arena, but McGregor came out inspired in the 4th round, going on the offensive early, and by now, Diaz's face was covered in blood. Both fighters were extremely exhausted, but McGregor continued to land punches and elbows to take the round. Nate Diaz continues to say that he had won the fight. Some agree, but also some say that McGregor won the fight, which he ended up winning by the majority of votes. Number 2, Nate Diaz vs TAKONORI Gomi. Nate emerged as a serious star in just 4.5 minutes, as he completely trounced Gomi, outclassing him on the feet before finishing off the Japanese star on the mat with an impressive armbar. The time had come to step completely from Nate's shadow, and made his existence as a top contender known, and Nate managed with seeming ease. The war that Nick and Gomi took part in was not found at UFC 135. Nate was simply too good for that. Number 1, Nate Diaz and Donald Cerrone. Cerrone is a top-notch A-class, top 10 ranked fighter. Understand that he's not timid, not reserved, and always eager to completely destroy opposition. Also understand that leading up to his fight with Nate at UFC 141, he rode a 6-fight win streak that included batterings of Jamie Verner, Chris Hordesky, and Dennis Silver. Donald Cerrone is an elite opponent. Nate Diaz made him look like an MMA neophyte, lost in the waters of brutal violence. For 15 minutes, Nate Diaz beat the brakes right off of Cerrone and was constantly 2 steps ahead, giving him complete control. And those are the top 5 best Nate Diaz fights. What are your thoughts? Tell us in the comments below, and please be sure to follow our Twitter at YouTube All Fighting. Thank you all for watching.